My name is Alexia. I'm 19 years old. I'm a very shy person. I don't like talking a lot. When you have in class people are raising their hands, I'm the last one to raise my hand. I don't like talking. Even if I do have something to say, I'll kind of like say it quietly or like wait a bit. I'm not much of a talker. Quiet, just like to sort of sit back and listen. In wrestling, my name is Alexia Nicole. I'm like I guess a more turned up version of myself. A lot more colorful, a lot more like brighter and spunkier. Kind of like a 9-year-old and 19-year-old's body. I first got into wrestling, I don't remember how old I was, but it was me and my brother, because he would watch it all the time, and he's 10 years older than me, so he'd kind of babysit, and I'd just sit in the room with him and watch. After a while, we'd start wrestling with each other, and we'd just copy what we see on TV, and then I started watching more and more of it, and getting more into it, understanding more. I started training September 2011, so I've been in wrestling a total of 4 years, but I've only actually been wrestling on shows for 3 years. My shoulder was always my main sort of obstacle. It was this one move, we'd go up top, my arm would kind of be up, someone else would be holding it, and I'd jump down and swing into an arm drag. And what happened was, I had been doing that fine, and what happened was I had slipped off the top, my arm was still up, and I kind of felt like a quick jolt of my shoulder going in and out. So I knew something was wrong. I was like, this isn't right, this doesn't feel good. Taped it up, kept going, it happened again. I was like, I still didn't want to stop. I'm like, let's just keep going and I'll just be careful. Had a training match, and during the match, at the very end, it came out and it wasn't popping back into place. And that's when we found out I've got very small ligaments in my shoulders. So we had to get that checked out by doctors. And first doctor I saw said, you know what, you're fine. A little bit of rehab, you'll be okay. Just take a couple weeks off. Did that, went back to training. It would happen occasionally, but like it wasn't terrible. I could keep going. Like there were times where I was like, is this really for me? Do I want to keep having to go back to the hospital? Do I want to be in a sling all the time? Do I want to get more surgeries? But it came down to like, I'm not going to get another surgery and not go do this. Like if I'm going to get surgery, I'm going to keep doing this. If I'm not going to get it, then I'm just going to stop. I was very nervous my first match back. The only thing going through my mind is I'm going to dislocate my shoulder. I'm going to be done. I'm going to do it here, and we're in Timmins, and we're 8 hours north of home, and something bad is going to happen. And that was just the one thing going through my mind, and that's calm myself down, get through it. I always have to keep my shoulder in mind. I can never go through a match and not think about it. Whenever I stop thinking about it is when something happens. So I always have to be conscious of the fact that, you know what, you do have a bad shoulder, but just go through it. Just do what you do. If there's something you can't do, work around it. And since that first match back, that's what I had to keep in mind, and that's kind of been my mindset ever since. It almost doesn't feel real that I've had so much happen. I've had 2 surgeries. I mean, I wake up in the morning and I look in the mirror like, wow, like, did that really happen to me? Did I really have to get that done? Like, it doesn't seem real. What kind of 16-year-old gets that always happening to them? But just to look back on it now, it's amazing what I've done before and what I've gone through and what I've gotten to now, and that like I still have my head on straight, and I'm still looking forward and looking to the future and doing more. Recently, because I've been doing matches with guys more, and I've been having more girl and guy matches, I've had a dad come up to me and say, I'm really thankful that you're doing this, because now my daughter knows that she can do anything. And just because she's a girl, that's not going to stop her. She can do what the guys do. And that was kind of like, I was taken back a bit, because a lot of people are turned off by intergender wrestling. They don't like the idea of guys getting in the ring with girls. They think it's wrong, it shouldn't happen, it's not realistic. But there are people that appreciate it and that really feel strongly about it. So I wouldn't call myself a pioneer. I'm not the first to do it. But the fact that I'm a part of something like this that's getting more recognition and more attention is pretty cool. I've actually had a couple of little girls come up to me and say that I inspire them, and they want to be like me when they get older, and they want to be a wrestler because of me, and that's so cool. Because I've never got to go to the girls that I look up to and say that, but the fact that they can, I think that's amazing, and it's me that they're coming to. I have fans. It's a little weird. I never thought I'd have fans. It's crazy. I mean, when you're young, you look up to people and you want to know everything they do, and I never thought that would be something that people would look at me as. Like, people look at me and they're like, oh, we want to know about you, we want a picture with you, can we have your autograph? It's so weird. Like, I would have never thought that would happen. I mean, it went by so fast, but like looking back, it seemed like forever. I mean, I felt like I was never gonna be good. I never thought I'd be doing what I do now. I never thought that I'd get opportunities, kind of thing. Like but then again, I look back and it's just like it all happened so fast. I mean, from 15 years old to 19 years old, it's almost like a blur of everything that just happened. Things are gonna happen to you that are unexpected. You're gonna be faced with certain situations where you're gonna have to pick between one or the other, and sometimes you're gonna have to compromise and sacrifice a little bit of what you love to continue to do what you want to do, but just don't give up. You know, so the sacrifice have to be made. Sometimes you have to put what you want to do. Like sometimes I've had to put wrestling on the side to be able to keep going, almost like to be able to also be like healthy enough and to have kind of like a life outside of it, because as much as I love it, you can't let it consume you. So you have to be kind of aware of what's going on inside and outside of your passion, but that doesn't mean you should ever give up on your passion.